welcome everyone to this session. This is a fireside chat we have today. My name is Nabil Zoljali. I'm the Director of Cloud Security at Darktrace, which is a global cyber AI company. And it's my absolute pleasure to be joined by Mike today. Mike, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Sure thing. My name's Mike Phelps. I'm the network engineer at Utz Quality Foods in Hanover, Pennsylvania. We're a salty snack manufacturer. You may know us for our chips, our pretzels, our cheese balls. I've been here for about 3 years now, and I take the role of network implementation as we branch out across the country, as well as the security role that goes along with that.
So I know it's been a particularly headline-hitting year for cyber attacks. I was curious to know, Utz has been a customer now for around 6 months. Can you walk us through your decision to actually implement self-learning AI technology?
Sure. It was about a year, maybe a year and a half ago. One of our local manufacturing partners, not necessarily a partner in the salty snack industry, but somebody local to our community, was hit with a ransomware attack. And that, because we're a small town, and I believe the CEOs are all they're all intertwined, and they know what's going on between everybody in the area. It raised a flag here at Utz that this is something that we need to, even though we think we're off away from all the bad guys, we're not. So like I said, that raised the flag as far as, hey, we need to look into protecting us from attacks like that. Not too long after that, we were in fact one of the companies that was hit with the SolarWinds breach. And it was something that was not discovered, or we found out about it maybe 4 to 5 months after it had happened. So I believe it was like that for a lot of companies, but that pretty much was the final decision-making incident that said, hey, we need to have a network detection and response program in place at Utz as we grow. As we're adding more plants, more employees, we got to make sure that we're protected. So we started down the path of looking at different network detection and response platforms, and really focused in on Darktrace. It was something that jumped out at us. We were impressed with the AI. We were impressed with the automated response portion of it. So that would, those two incidents happening within the past 2 years really drove us towards Darktrace. And then there was some, as we'll talk about, there were some things about Darktrace that really sealed the deal for us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, specifically a large number of organizations, I think, kind of can echo the sentiment and could probably experience something similar, if not very close to what you guys experienced. And I think, I'm pretty happy to hear that, being able to support your security team, having technology that can offer, real-time detection and also autonomous response, clearly is a big plus. One other area that I know we really focus on in terms of technology that we're passionate about is augmenting analysts and augmenting humans, empowering defenders. What I've been kind of really impressed with over the last few years is our cyber AI analyst capabilities, where we've actually been able to, do that specifically by learning how a very experienced SOC analyst is able to kind of investigate different alerts, how they actually triage different findings, and then kind of model some of that using software. I was interested to kind of hear your experience using our cyber AI analysts. What have you found with it so far?
Well, it just so happens that within maybe the first 2 months, we were doing a proof of value with Darktrace, and a large batch of information was being taken from our network and distributed off net. So it was heading to folks who were not at utzsnacks.com or utzsnacks.net. This was information that was going to a third party, and through the cyber AI analyst, it detected this activity, and it compiled it into an easily digestible um, I guess what you said, it triages the information. It puts together a nice package that you're able to see what the information was, who was the person that was, who was the actor, so to speak, that was taking that information, what were they doing with it, where was it being sent to, and we could take that and not only identify each step in that process, but then we were able to take that information that that has been put together in a executive level context, so to speak, and present it to the executive team, and they were able to say, "Oh wow, this is exactly what we're looking for from a security tool." That it essentially adds another employee or group of employees to your team. It's taking the information, it's learned the network, it's determined what the issue is, and it presents it to you in a way that how should you respond to this, when should you respond to this, if you should respond to this. And in this case, it was just information about an acquisition that, you know, while it's very sensitive information, it was okay to leave the network and go to that third party. But in some cases, it may not be. And we would have that all right in front of us to be able to act upon it if that was the case.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. I also would like to talk a little bit about our Microsoft partnership because it's something I know I've been pretty involved with. Earlier this year, we actually launched a strategic partnership with Microsoft to help organizations of all shapes and sizes enhance their cybersecurity capabilities across multi-cloud and multi-platform environments. I'd love to hear some of your successes that you've experienced using Darktrace's technology within Microsoft environments and kind of hearing a little bit about that, better together story, if you will.
Sure, sure. One perfect example about the integration between Darktrace and Microsoft. We're a very heavy Office 365 environment. We have just in the past 18 months, we've turned up a Dynamics 365 and ERP environment. So we are very SaaS oriented, and the concern is that we don't have, or before Darktrace, we didn't have the eyeballs in every location to be able to see, okay, exactly what's going on and where and how and why. Because we're going to have, going forward, we're going to have people pretty well, around the globe. So we're going to need those eyes, and we're going to need to have that layer of security and that reassurance that the product is going to respond if need be, and we've seen that it does. So it's been fantastic.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear, Mike. And I think one thing I'd also probably highlight is there is oftentimes a pretty high barrier to entry when it comes to actually properly managing a lot of the different types of policies and rule sets that you would put in place. You're talking about how Utz is growing, right? It's going to be expanding globally. And these are the kind of things where if you could have a system that can learn the business for itself and kind of relieve you of the duty of having to maintain and update all the time,
yep,
it will be able to kind of learn what normally happens from a business context and kind of ensure that resiliency. That's incredible. Yeah. I was curious to know, before we wrap up, what's next for Utz, and what are some of the things you're looking to get out of our partnership moving forward?
Going forward, I believe what we're going to be focusing on now that we've established the SaaS side of things, we have our desktop computers, our laptops, our network is being learned. Darktrace is learning it, and the goal for the next 6-8 months is to have Darktrace learn our production environment. There's so many devices that are deployed onto, whether it's a PLC on the manufacturing line, it could be an HVAC system, it could be a wastewater system. Everything's coming online, and the hard part for us is as we grow, we bring on a new acquisition, maybe 1 or 2 a year, sometimes 3 or 4. We can learn their desktop computers, their switches, their routers, the things like that, because that's our environment. But the production side of things is not necessarily our environment, and we're going to need dark trace to be able to analyze the traffic that's going across from, PLC 1 to PLC 2 that we're never really going to have the ability to have eyes on. But now we do with dark trace. So we're going to be concentrating on our production environment, securing that, making sure that we're not opening up ourselves to any security holes when we bring on a new acquisition, and even in our current environment. It's just finding ways to tighten up the screws, so to speak, on our security from top to bottom.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. Well, first of all, Mike, I want to say thank you. Appreciate the time. Appreciate you kind of spending some time with us, having this quick fireside chat. To all the audience that are watching this, I wanted to really quickly mention, if you'd like to learn more, you can definitely head over to both the demo and the innovation centers, where you could see a number of different dark trace demonstrations, as well as hear from other customers, including McLaren Racing. And you could even enter for a chance to win a McLaren backpack and water bottle. So with that, I want to thank everyone for joining us today and hope to see you soon.